everyone, this is Steve sitting on the back porch listening to the sounds of nature. A beautiful day, and Wheezy63 asked me to do a video in which I get some things off my chest. Getting it off my chest, sort of a therapy thing, and he's got this great idea to do a couple of months at least of videos where we let it all out, let it all loose, things that have been bugging us. And so I thought, I'll do something real quick here. I'll say one thing that doesn't bug me, and that's this beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous out here. So anyway, but that's not where we're going. We're going in the other direction, so let's do it. Yeah, I want to talk about self-service. You know, when I was a kid, well, many years ago, before I could drive a car, I remember the commercials on TV and the reality of going to service stations to get gas with my parents, and you'd see all these guys come running out in uniforms, and they'd clean the windshield, they'd fill up the tank, they'd check the oil, they'd do everything, and your car was gorgeous, and you just drive off. You didn't have to do anything, and you were only paying like, a quarter a gallon for gas. Great service, not self-service. Eventually these self-service gas stations came to be, and other things went to self-service many years later. It wasn't all that long ago that you heard about Kmart having all these closings of stores all over the country. But before that, I went into a Kmart, and they had set up a self-service checkout line where instead of the people who were working there, the cashiers ringing you up, you rang up your own stuff. You scanned it, you paid with the credit card, and you were gone. I know some people like that, but I thought that it's less service. You're paying, things cost more and more, and here you are, now they want you to ring up your own stuff. And it just didn't seem right. In that particular store where that was going on, it was just before Christmas, so people had a lot of stuff they were wanting to ring up, and the lines where they were getting to the full service, where the cashiers were, had long lines, so people would go to the self-service lines to try to get out of there quicker. A lot of times it took them longer because you're standing behind somebody who can't figure out, like some old lady can't figure out how the heck to use the credit card machine. So you're paying more for less service. And last year I made a video where I talked about going into the post office, and they used to have a stamp machine where you could go in, and even if the post office was closed or whatever, you didn't have to stand in a long line to buy a stamp. If you just want to buy one single stamp, you could go to the stamp machine and buy a single stamp. Put your money in, and sometimes it took your money, but that's another story, another complaint, and getting it off my chest, but we won't go back that far. That's kind of like history now, because they took out that stamp machine. You couldn't buy a single stamp anymore, and at that time they put in another stamp machine, a high-tech stamp machine that wouldn't take coinage, wouldn't take dollar bills or anything, and would not sell you a single stamp. You had to buy an entire book of stamps, so the post office could make more money, and you would use your credit card, so it's guaranteed they're going to get this money out of the bank, and but you had to buy a book of like 20 stamps at a time at least. You couldn't just buy a single stamp, one or two or three stamps, and one of you just happened to need at that moment, which is a real pain. But the topper is, not long after that, they took that machine out. And I went into the post office one day, and where the machine was, they said that this machine has been removed, and if you'd like to buy stamps, you can buy them at the nearby 7-Eleven convenience store, or the grocery store that they're selling stamps a few blocks away. So what they're telling us is, the post office will not sell you a stamp. The post office is telling you to go somewhere else to buy your stamps. So I went inside, and I waited in line and bought a stamp. I had to wait a long line just to buy one stamp, and I asked the guy, what's going on? Why you take out the stamp machine? And they said, well, it wasn't making enough money. It wasn't worth what it cost to put it in. Now, I always thought that the post office, now this is the United States Post Office, folks. For folks in other parts of the world, I don't know how it is elsewhere, but the post office was established as an institution to serve a specific need. It was a specific service It was a service established by the government to help the people in need. We need a postal service. We need to get our mail from here to there, and whatever, you know. And it was supposed, and that's what it was. And they kept the prices low. They weren't. It wasn't a big business designed to make money. And they would, you know, somewhere along the line, it became that way. We're not making enough money. Let's raise the prices, and let's lower the level of service. You know, there used to be, this is kind of funny and zany, but there used to be singing telegrams, even back in the 60s, and I think they cut them out sometime during the 70s, where, you know, somebody could, where the postman would deliver a singing telegram to your door. You would open the door, and he would sing some kind of a happy song that somebody had sent you. You actually sing the song, and it was a singing telegram. And, you know, it was kind of funny and, you know, not needed, you know, yeah, sure, but they cut that out. But it was just, not that it's that, but it's the many other services. They've cut back and they keep raising prices, and the service isn't getting any better. The service is getting worse. So I know things cost more. It costs more to fly mail from one place to another, you know, the price of fuel and this and everything else. But nevertheless, you know, I think even people would be willing to pay more for continued great service, not to pay more for less service. Does that make sense? In any case, that's what I'm talking about. Self-service in the world today, where it's not about good service, serving other people, helping other people with whatever specific needs they might have, but it's greed has taken over everything. And you know, I would say even in I work in a pharmacy. I work in a retail pharmacy. And, you know, a lot of people come to us, and they're in need. They need their medicines. And the prices are too high and whatever. And we are there to fulfill a specific need. But the institution that I work for demands a certain... They've got all this paperwork we have to fill out. We have to we got to fill a certain number of prescriptions. We've got to make a certain amount of money. We've got to bring in enough people. We have to make sure they refill their prescriptions with us. We've got to make sure they don't transfer to somebody else. If they transfer to another pharmacy, we've got to bring them back by offering them gift cards and stuff and more stuff. Why? Because it's all about money. It's all about greed. It's not about helping people. It should be about helping people. You know? I'm not saying I'm for government-run healthcare. That's complicated. It's a complicated issue. But I am for genuinely wanting to help other people, to serve other people, to do what's right, and not just to be driven by the almighty dollar. You know? Oh well. Just wanted to get that off my chest. So I did. Thanks, Wheezy, for letting me do that. Everybody have a great day.